issues of the age of the Earth and fossils. And then secondly, you're a Christian and you are a scientist. Do you think that creationism and evolution can be taught side by side?
Let me address the first question. It's not about fitting the evidence into my worldview. It's about using my worldview to understand and explain the evidence. And Bill Nye is using his worldview to understand the evidence, and I'm using my worldview to understand the evidence. He talked a lot about gaps. There are no gaps. Again, it's completely consistent with a creation worldview, with a biblical creation worldview. Like you say, I'm a scientist, so I look at the DNA, I study genes, all of that information, and what I see is absolutely consistent with the biblical creation view. And so it's not about fitting, as I explained earlier, about the age of the Earth and the fossils. We explain the fossils as a result of Noah's flood, a catastrophic deluge. And you would expect to find all these dead things buried in rock layers all over the Earth, and guess what? That's exactly what you see as a result of that flood. So again, observational science that we study today confirms and is consistent with the biblical worldview. I'm not an advocate
of claim.
I'm not an advocate of teaching. Let me address the second question. I'm not an advocate of teaching creation in the public schools. I have a daughter in public school, and I feel it is my job as her parent to teach her the truth at home, starting with the Bible. So I see full well what she's learning, and I teach her about the problems with that, and I have no issues with her. In my opinion, if we're gonna, like Kathy said earlier, there's so much science that needs to be taught to our kids. So why don't we focus on the good observational science that we're doing every day and leave the historical science out of it, because it's just not necessary.
That's not okay.
To me, historical science is a made-up term. I mean, it's not nonsensical for us on our side. So, hang on. So your claim is that, for example, if I find feathered dinosaur fossils in China, those were put there during a primordial flood that happened just 10 centuries ago. That's your, 10,000 years ago. That's your claim.
About 4,000 years ago, yes.
4,000, so at that same time, your claim and belief is that although strontium and rubidium especially exist in two different isotopes, and one is derived from rubidium, and you can tell one from the other with a mass spectrometer, your belief is that stuff was put there 10,000 years ago. Those clocks were all set 10,000 years ago. And when I observe light from the other side of the universe, that was put there just 10,000 years ago. That's extraordinary. I mean, that's your claim, yeah?
Well, what I'm saying is that all radiometric dating is based on assumptions about the past, and you weren't there, so you don't know if your assumptions are correct. And we can date things.
No, we weren't there, but I'm pretty sure we had a civil war. I'm pretty sure we had Isaac Newton. I'm pretty sure we had Galileo. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure they happened.
But this is
frankly, I'm pretty sure that
guys, on that note, we're not gonna get this solved today or anytime soon. But we want to thank all of our guests.